Good. Bet Mana's... If he looks back at this game, he'll be kicking himself. He's like, man, one more DT, and I'm going up against the 2-base Zerg. And then he just straight up wins. Yep. Now he still has a pretty big army, but if Elazer starts morphing Ravagers right here, right now, I think he's going to be fine against his move out. The problem is that he hasn't seen it yet. And if you haven't seen it, you're not going to morph random Ravagers, because why would you want to do that? You want to spend your money on drones. Did he go too far, Creighton? 70 drones, 0 Ravagers.
Yeah, that looks like a bit of an overextension here from Elazer. This is going to hit and catch him completely by surprise, as you said, with enough sentries here to force field this off for ages. Mana's almost certainly going to trash this third base and kill every single drone in it. So despite getting all those drone kills earlier, the Ravager's now out for Mana, for Elazer rather, but Mana should be able to hold his own. The Warp Prism's still alive, 2 Immortals still alive here, and this is going to be a pretty good fight. Ooh, nice Corrosive Biles though, a bit of an aggressive Warp in from Mana, and he's going to lose the Warp Prism here.
Yep, losing the Prism sucks. Killing 10 drones and a hatch is obviously fantastic. He's gonna try to recall these units. Will the Immortals survive? I think one of them survived. Now one more Immortal is like, oh no, I missed the recall party, and there's no Prism to save this bad boy. Yeah, Mana still, I want to say, in a phenomenal spot because it's 3.
Ultra synergized pretty nicely. He's got that +3 melee attack on the way. So, as you said, he doesn't have to invest in something like Hydras, where you got to get missile attacks, you got to get speed, you got to get range. Nice little snipe there. Another Viper going down, I think. Nice little cheeky blink from Mana, who's staying in this game pretty well. The Ultraless transition going to hit pretty hard. Already a couple Archons out, though, and both players, well, I guess Elazer's maxed out here, which means his bank's going to start growing here, but Mana's still got a long time before he's able to max out, right?
Elazer is morphing 30, but well, not 30, but he's morphing 12 Banelings, rolling into the third base of Mana. Mana's obviously busy with the fight. The Stalkers are in a bit of a pickle, and that means that these Banelings will find some good connections with the probes. They're gonna get pretty much all of them. I gotta say, a couple of times, Elazer has done really funny things with his Banelings as the Novas are trying to connect with the Zerg army. My goodness, this game is too damn wild.
This is ridiculous. Both players having some insane pushes, but more and more Banelings rolling in, and the 1-to-1 Baneling to Stalker count just seems to be too good. A couple Purification Novas driving Elazer away, but the Bane's going to get in here, manually detonating him and even burrowing a few here. Oh, this is so cheeky from Elazer. Oh god, I love burrowed Baneling. Kev, let's see if he gets it. Come on, come on.
It's on the other side, but he'll get it eventually. That's the Elazer special. He does it in ZVT all the time. Mana will feel like his time is really ticking at this point, and he needs to make magic happen. Can we get the sickest Nova? So far, no, because the splits are excellent by Elazer. And I believe now on creep with all these Zerglings, I think Elazer has finally done it. There aren't many probes left anymore from Mana. No static defenses to fall back to. What an awesome game, though.
There it is. The Banelings finally come up. Finally got him on there. But yeah, as you said, just a little bit too much there. And Elazer, reppin' Team Cascade, is going to grab game number 1 here in quite an epic fight there against Mana. What a good game. Still working on, I imagine, Stim here. No, wait a minute. Swapping it. There it is. Yeah, he's swapping over the barracks now to get that Stim going. Clem's dropping to the main. Is going to land here. The Cyclone rotating a little bit too late. All these Marines will go down. Good focus fire onto the medevac. And what Clem's going to try and do is draw Soul up into the main and then maybe strike in the natural. But Soul, again, not taking the bait here. Defending at the natural and should have plenty of units to defend his main a little bit later. Tank out. I think he'll be all right.
Well, the Marines can walk into the dead zone. That's exactly what they do. A beautiful Marine movement by Clem. So he doesn't just get the Cyclone, he gets the tank, and on top of that he gets 6 to 7 SCVs. Nope, a big fight happening in the natural now as well. Lots of interference matrices, and that normally means you want to take the fight, but I feel that Soul is kind of lacking DPS. One of the tanks is going to get a couple shots off, and Soul is falling apart.
This landed Vikings from Clem just do so much against the mechanical tanks on the ground here. And one last tank, not even going to have time to siege up these Vikings, bearing down on it like a horror movie. SCVs pulled off the line, but Vikings fire so dang fast, Rotterdam. Those SCVs are going to melt.
Yep, you don't really want to fight Vikings with workers. This is very painful. Clem is not done yet. It's beautiful that Clem actually still found an opening. It really wasn't going his way. It's all that one medevac. That Cyclone that you mentioned was just a little bit too late for Soul, because the medevac was already low on HP. If he gets a lock on, not even all these Marines come out. And that would have made for a completely different game. Now all of a sudden we're here where the Orbital is low on HP, pulling SCVs into Vikings one more time. And all that Soul really had was one tank. That one goes down. GG, just like that. Team Liquid ties up the score. Yeah, Clem is a beast. Soul is really good, but Clem is next level.
Question for you, though. You said that uThermal's been committing here to Vikings and Cyclones. We see 2 Cyclones and 2 Vikings out. Does that like reduce his opportunities later in the game? Does that put him at a weakness? Is he sort of countering Skillous at the expense of not having a great army? Or is this a pretty natural fit for uThermal for Vikings and Cyclones in his army for late game, for mid game?
No, it's more the early game against the Phoenixes. Otherwise, if you don't have Stim, Phoenixes are super annoying to deal with, and this is kind of the best answer that Terran has. I mean, sure, you can try to spread Widow Mines everywhere and hope you get lucky, but if you don't get lucky, these Phoenixes are going to pick you apart and you lose too many SCVs. So Cyclone Viking as an opener is just really good in zoning those Phoenixes away from your mineral lines.
Very good. Good to hear that uThermal still got a chance here. These Phoenix will make their way past the missile turret there. It looks like the Phoenix not going to go down
Widow
here.
Mine.
5, 6 kills. There we go. Big Widow Mine shot. Did that kill any Phoenix, though? It looked like...
Yes, absolutely one.
Okay, one went down there, and Skillous is going to be able to get the recall out to his third base. He's got a fourth base behind this, Kev. You're not joking about his economy. He's on 68. As you said, very strong. Disruptor count increasing now. 2 out for Skillous, making 2 at a time. Going to have 4 soon. And once you get up to that like 4, 6 disruptor count, you really can start to use them for zoning as well as damage. Just buying your Colossi and Stalkers plenty of time in the back. Unfortunately, uThermal's going to hit a little bit before Skillous gets up to the big number of disruptors that I think he wants.
Yeah, I still think this is a very difficult fight for uThermal, who was splitting up his army. He was looking for maybe a flank, but now he has a lot of supply tied up on the left. I don't know if... I actually think I like Skillous' army a bit more than I like uThermal's army at this point. Because, 5 Vikings, what does that do? Is that enough to take out 3 Colossi? I don't think so. uThermal needs to utilize the mobility that his army has and find openings then. And then maybe we can get a sick fight as he tried to land a couple of EMPs and the Ghost Fun slide. I don't really like this positioning on the right side for Skillous. Now his Colossi are sitting duck. The Disruptors are coming in from the left, but no, Skillous. I really don't think that this was the fight he needed to take. Now he's going to lose all his robo units, and that could very well be game over. GG gets called. uThermal takes the 2-1 lead for Team Liquid up. I think it's safe to say that Mana is very committed to this little gateway attack that he's doing, but he's still also getting upgrades and building a couple probes. It's kind of funny, because normally when you see a battery and a gateway in this phase in the game, you're like, okay, he's pretty all in, right? But it's like, yeah, sort of, but then not really. The thing is, though, eventually Mana needs to fight his army, and all the sentries that he warped in, they are useless. They would have been great in zoning out the Immortals before. Well, no more, because Big Daddy Archon is here, and Big Daddy Archon doesn't give a damn about your force field.
3 Archons and 5 Immortals, a huge backbone of Mana's army right now. And where are the power units for Mana, Roddy? There's just nothing here. In fact, there's no Robo on Mana's side of the map at all. He's got nothing other than... No, he's got nothing. There's nothing he can do besides hope that Blink Stalkers work. More sustainably, obviously, Skillous' army, and he's going to catch a nice pincer movement here, shaving off a few more Stalkers for Mana.
I was like, maybe you want to blink on those Immortals. Sure, there's a Prism, but that's the best fight you're going to get. But then there were 5 more Zealots storming in. So it's probably a good thing he didn't do that, because those 5 Zealots would have made it devastating. Once again, absolutely brilliant call by Skillous not to use his Phoenix defensively. Over time, these Phoenixes have killed 18 additional probes. It's now 24 throughout the entirety of the game. And that is just because Mana was so focused on attacking that he couldn't really be bothered in keeping track of those Phoenixes, and also didn't want to have too much of his army supply at home. So now the Polish Protoss is going to try to find some openings with his Stalkers. We'll finally get one of the Void Rays. But I mean, everywhere I look, I see powerful units of Skillous, and I see relatively weak units for Mana.
Yeah, interesting there. Skillous was pulled slightly out of position. Maybe Mana hoping he could pop in, snipe the third base or something, but Skillous luckily able to see it coming and responded just in time.
Look at this. This is awesome. Skillous is like, you know what? I'm going to warp in Zealous on the other side of the map. Okay, recall's being used, so now the Immortals can come, but he left 5 Immortals at home to deal with a counterattack. You never see that. Yeah. Mana, his units right now in a very awkward place. I don't know if Mana can fight this, but he definitely can't fight it when the 5 Immortals show up.
Yeah, they're going to clomp their way across the map here. Nice little surround, though. These Stalkers getting some good shots left and right, but really the problem is this army supply and army value of Skillous. The Zealots now running rampant in the third base, forcing too many Stalkers to address them. And as this left flank gets cleaned up, or the right flank gets cleaned up, the left flank forced to evacuate to higher ground as the Zealots... Oh my god, these probes. Oh god. I'd say Protoss players look away, but their Archon's getting the kills, so it's still good for Protoss players, right?
Look at these Stalkers. They've been doing whatever they can. They've been kiting. They've been blinking. But eventually you're forced to fight. I think what Mana's hoping for now is like, can I kill the Archons and then pull probes to fight the Immortals? Because probes and Stalkers are good against Immortals but there's still 2 Archons left. They are very tanky, boys. Mana is really microing his heart out, and now we go. He's like, maybe the probes can make the difference. Oh, blinks on top of the Immortals, takes down 2 immediately, gets the 3rd one, and he may even get the last one, but he's also lost 40 probes, and that's just a little too much. GG. Skillous ties up the series. Man, this young Russian is playing some really sick Starcraft. And I will... Oh, he's loaded the depot. Okay, sorry. Thought that maybe Elazer was going to be able to get in there. Because there was an SCV on the wrong side. And there was an Overlord looking at that SCV that was on the wrong side. And I was like, Elazer is going to try to get in there when the SCV tries to get in there. But in the end, Clem is just a little too on point. Oh yeah, let me know when you do another episode, Creighton, because I'll pay attention. For now, we'll talk about these Hellions. Ooh. The Hellions are trapped. Look at these Queens. The Queens are forming a force field. Let's go, Miko. Wow, you don't often see Zerg players get cleanups like that against Clem.
Man, that was gorgeously done. Wow, yeah, this is really old school here. This is something you'd see more in a Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm sort of style with Lingbane, or pardon me, not Lingbane Muta, but Lingbane Hydra and a big Baneling bust. I feel like Baneling busts just aren't as common these days. Terran players are just too damn good at target firing Banelings, at retargeting tanks, and we're going to have to see if Elazer can make it work. He's trying to distract up here at the third base and does prevent the 4th base from going down. Good spreads already from Clem, but let's see if there's enough on the ground for Elazer.
I don't know, man. These Banelings need magical connections, but Clem just stands there. He holds his ground, snipes so many of these Banelings, and this wasn't even his entire army, Creighton. He still has Marines that are now applying pressure to the fort, but finally Elazer's units from the top left do start showing up. The few more Banelings do get picked off. I don't think it's good enough for Elazer, man. He's losing a lot. He is getting a couple SCV kills, but now he's going to lose a lot of drones at home. And even if this seems promising for the Zerg, I don't think it is, because he's never killing that tank, and he's taking a beating at home.
Yeah, that's one of the beautiful things about playing Bio here is you've always got reinforcements coming out. If you're going with a mech style, it takes a bit longer for your tanks, for your Thors, for your Widowmines to really hit the field. But if you've got Bio, there are always 5, 10, 15 Marines seconds away from popping out, which means you can defend against this fairly well. And since Clem's getting so much damage on the other side of the map as well, what looked like a promising start for Elazer has turned into a bit of a nightmare. He cleans this up, but still looks like Clem's at a pretty good spot.
Yeah, so I almost thought the Orbital was going down. I was like, well, then maybe we can turn this into a game. Baneling's crashing in now, but there is still that one tank. Tank on the high ground has done an absolutely fantastic job. 13 kills, and a lot of those kills have been Hydras, not just Zerglings. Clem should not be where he currently is. Clem, all that Clem really needs to do, I feel like, is take a second. He's up an upgrade. He's got a Planetary Fortress morphing. We do want to keep this Planetary alive. Elazer's going for it one more time, but he needs big damage here, Creighton.
Yeah, what's interesting is that Clem doesn't have that many Marines on the field. 5 Marines, 4 Marauders. All of his damage is in these tanks here. If we could see a good focus fire from Elazer, he'd have a real chance. Tank on the low ground goes down, but as you said, that high ground tank doing a ton of damage. Still no lurkers from Elazer, which that means he doesn't have as much sustainability as he'd like in these attacks, and just enough Marines and Marauders here. Clem drives it away, and with no 4th base, Elazer forced to tap out. GG.
I got goals to chase, I got roads to pave. Not yet where I wanna be, but I got close today. I went ghost today, I got least to say. I be focused on these dreams like I didn't sleep today.